Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So over the past week, I made two videos. This is kind of a part 3 on Tavern duty officers, premium duty officers, super premium duty officers. I've decided to make a change in one of them or use one in a two duty officer system where I rotate them, and I want to go through it. I want to show you how much stronger this one is in live simulation, and also he's not that much stronger in some regards. Like, it's kind of a little bit of a mind screwer. Is that what you would say in Canada as we speak nice? Anyways, let's take a look at it. So I'm talking about in the rally spot here, and I got Niwa. I full spec'd him out. I got gear on him, which will not work, but because I switch them back and forth, that way I don't have to change gear to put them on, because they have to keep their super duty officer status, and I don't, I got to keep the power up over 3.3 million. So anyways, let's look at him. So he has 10% more march size than the little guy over here, but this guy has all the in-city defensive buffs, so I'll be switching them back and forth. Anyways, let's look at the important stuff here. So he has no attack buffs, none. But right here, he does have 5% all troop attack HP. So the world boss is the Bird of Hurricane. We will be using ground troops. That's important because we're going to be going over to Niwa with his 10% bigger march size. And he also has attacking ground 15, attacking ground HP 15, attacking ground attack 6, so we're up to 21. And then here he comes in at 6 instead of 5 with Toyo. So he's going to end up with 22% more attacking buffs. So we're going to do just a nice attack with Toyo. We're going to have our ground gear on, and we're going to go with march size. So he's going to attack just like this with ground, okay? And then we're going to switch to Niwa. Exact same attack. So we're going to be able to compare them with the 10% march size difference. Or are we? Then we're going to change the monarch gear because it's fair to give him 10% march size and 22% more ground attack and a little bit more ground HP also. So what we're going to do to change that, because it's going to be hard to totally control, but we have ground attack right here, 86%. We're going to change over to right here, 71%. So we're going to take off 15%. And that's how we're going to attack with Niwa. So Niwa will still hold a 7% advantage. Now we'll look at the reports. And the first one is with Toyo. And you can see the smaller march size, 8.431 million. We're going to go up 86,000 march size after this one, because 10% on top of 860,000. We get 10% on that. I wish it was on the whole thing, but it's not. So he does 11.89 billion damage with a 7.431 damage rate. Now, let's look at what Niwa did. Nothing changed except Niwa. And you can see the larger march size, 8.517 million. Damage rate of almost 7.6. Damage value, 12.159 billion. So that is 270 million more. Now, I wanted to do my best to isolate the ground attack. And to remind you what we did do, we changed this. We changed from this one, 86%, over to this one, 71%. So it still holds a 7% advantage and a little bit more because of the flats, which don't play too much of a difference on T15s. But the 7% difference is because that's, if you remove the ground attack from Niwa, we still end up with a 7% advantage in ground attack over Toyo. And right here, it does drop significantly. 12,077, and this one was 12,159. So about 880 million it drops. So a good amount, not as much as the advantage of 270 million. So 190 million is still coming from 190 million of that 270 million between the difference of Toyo and Niwa is still coming from the March size. And you could drop that down a little bit more. So if we took off 27% and we're going to take off another 7%, you could generously take off about 100 million total and still hold about 190 million advantage with just the March size. So big difference. You could see 12,077, still a lot stronger than the 11,89. So yeah, March size is king, but the attack percentages do play a more important role or larger role than I did think they would. I thought that the difference was going to be so minimal between these two Niwa attacks with just the ground attack being removed. I thought, honestly, the difference was going to be just 10 million or something. Instead, it ended up being 80 million. So it was a significant portion. Let me know your thoughts on this. Are you going to be changing to Niwa if you get a chance? I'm definitely going to be trying to get, I'm going to need 6 more copies of Niwa to get him to 8 stars in order to get that extra 7% March size that he does offer in the Ascension. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.